Hello friends, welcome to the online prescribing skill training program by ICMR for Indian medical graduates. I am Dr. Shukalyan Shaharoy from IGMS Patna, and in this module we would learn about medication history, which is vital for safe prescribing. This module has been developed, edited and reviewed by experts from different disciplines from IGMS Patna, AIIMS New Delhi, KEM Mumbai and Safdarjung Hospital. So, our learning objectives today, at the end of this module you shall be able to explain the importance of medication history in enhancing quality of prescribing and ensuring patient safety, giving appropriate examples. You shall be also able to enumerate the steps involved in taking best possible medication history. You can mention salient points that should be required while eliciting medication history, explain the benefits of pre-printed proforma used to document prescribed medications, and revise given prescription based on the medication history. So, we would start with the importance of medication history, then we would discuss about few steps of taking best possible medication history. We would discuss few case studies in between and recommend you what to do, not to do, and conclude the session with summarizing and take home message. Can you remember the concept of rational use of drug, that 5R concept, right drug, right dose, right duration and so on. So, just converse to that is prescribing errors. So, it is a subset of a greater concept which is medication error. Now, prescription errors examples are wrong dose, inappropriate drug for the patient, or over prescribing, sometimes under prescribing, sometimes therapeutic duplications and so on. How can you prevent it? When you have the exact data that your patient is getting this such and such drugs for such and such durations, and you have all the past histories, only then you can choose the right drug for your right patient. So, that is why medication history is important in prevention of medication error, to be precise prescription error. It is also important in prevention of hypersensitivity to drugs. Adherence to treatment is very important so far as the outcomes of your treatment is concerned. So, by appropriate medication history you can check the adherence, also you can ensure patient's adherence to your treatment. Appropriate history would prevent adverse drug-drug interactions and adverse food-drug interactions. And last but not the least, you can detect drug related pathology like drug induced liver injury, cutaneous adverse drug reactions like Stevens-Johnson syndrome and drug fever etc. by taking appropriate medication history. So, how your medication history can improve rational prescribing? Let us see the following case. 57 years old female patient presented in a private clinic with complaint of fever for previous 6 days associated with headache, passage of soft stools, and after few investigations the provisional diagnosis was made as typhoid. Now, she was prescribed ciprofloxacin 500 milligram 12 hourly. Over the next 3 days, as she improved, her doctor advised her to continue the same medication for next 14 days. So, we can see the prescriptions of Mrs. SB. Here please note, doctor has noted the current history, that is history of present illness, the examination findings and also the provisional diagnosis. In the follow up we can see that doctor has noted that patient has denied taking injectables, and we can also note that doctor has noted the relevant investigation points in the prescription. What happened next? After 12 days suddenly Mrs. SB noted bruise marks in her both knees. However, she could not remember any history of trauma or accident. Doctor advised few investigations in which the coagulation report came abnormal. INR was raised 3.8, multiple times raised, and doctor stopped ciprofloxacin immediately along with another drug which the patient was taking for last 9 months but forgot to inform the doctor previously. Can you guess what the other drug was? So, let us see Mrs. SB's past history, which was revealed later. She had hip fracture 10 months back, and after operation she had recurrent episodes of deep vein thrombosis, for which her cardiologist put her on warfarin, and after few dose modifications the stable dose was 5 milligram per day. Though doctor advised her to check INR regularly and at the time of her illnesses, but Mrs. SB unfortunately forgot that during her typhoid episode. So, we can see in this case scenario what happened is some prescriptions error. During the typhoid episode, Mrs. SB was prescribed ciprofloxacin because doctor did not know that she was already on anticoagulant warfarin. That is why these drug-drug interactions happened and patient had the serious injury or harm. So, what do you think? What would be the rational approach to manage this case? We would recommend instead of ciprofloxacin, azithromycin 1 gram daily would be better choice. In addition, checking P-time INR in between should have been done and follow up should have been frequent. One thing we would recommend you that you need to understand that patient might miss something, but we the doctors have the responsibility to bring out all the relevant information out of the patient. So, what is the lesson learned from this case scenario? Missing history increases risk, and we the doctors need to be methodical to elicit appropriate history, complete medication history. So, how can we do that? For eliciting complete medication history, we have the module of best possible medication history. This technical term encompasses something greater than you do it routinely in your clinics. So, taking best possible medication history involves reviewing multiple reliable sources of information, maybe relatives, maybe the caregiver who knows about the medications, in addition to interviewing the patient himself or herself. Along with that, verifying all the medicines, current medicines and past medicines used by the patients. You can check the empty foils or the containers of the drugs, and you can also ask the caregiver or the relative accompanying the patients. So, let us see what is the proper step of eliciting best possible medication history. First, clinical interview of the patient, which we do it regularly in our clinics. Then interviewing the caregiver or the family member accompanying. Then checking all the papers, previous prescriptions, previous reports, empty containers, foils and devices of the patient, and then you need to look for completeness. If any discrepancies you can find, then you need to address that. You need to properly document the final prescription after reconciliation, and last but not the least part of the whole process is communication. That means you need to communicate to your patient regarding the final appropriate prescription. Let us see another scenario. Do we need pre-admission documents for writing discharge? Let us see the following case. 60 years old non-diabetic patient was admitted for an elective surgery, hernia repair. His diabetes status was well controlled with few oral anti-diabetic drugs like metformin, sitagliptin and voglibose. He was managed perioperatively by insulin infusion and injection. However, on discharge he was prescribed glimepiride 2 mg along with metformin 1000 mg daily. What happened was, after 8 days, suddenly in the early morning patient had an episode of hypoglycemia. So, why did it happen? So, from the case scenario we can note that patient's glycemic status was well controlled with metformin, sitagliptin and voglibose, but during discharge the drugs was changed to some secretagogues like glimepiride. This is called medication discrepancy. So, this type of error like medication discrepancy is very common during transition of care. Transition of care means when the patient is shifted from one setting from the another clinical setting, like admission into a hospital or discharge from a hospital or shift from ward to ICU and so on. So, how can we avoid such errors? We can follow the following algorithm to prevent these types of medication discrepancy during transition of care. First, we need to transcribe all previous documents and then create the most accurate list possible of all medications the patient is taking. Then we need to match the list against physician's current orders during transition and then finalize the prescription appropriate to the patient's current condition. Our goal of this exercise is to provide correct medications to the patient at all transitional points. So, this is called medication reconciliation. From our experience, we have seen multiple times that the actual case scenario differs from the documented advice. What our patients actually do might differ from what is documented in their prescriptions. For example, self medications. Many times patient take medicines from outside over the counter and even patient might abuse or misuse antibiotics. Sometimes patient might change the dosage schedule due to intolerance without reporting to their doctors. Many patients, particularly Indian patients, use alternate system medicines like Ayush medicines or Ayurvedic medicines. Misuse of antimicrobials is rampant, particularly in Indian scenario, but doctor can't get the reports. So, as a whole, non-adherence is the main problem which shifts from your advice. So, what to do? We have few recommendations what to do and what not to do. In every encounter, please ask for all the previous documents and the containers of the drugs. Inquire whether any medicines been added, changed or stopped recently. If affirmative, then why? Ask categorically whether patient procure any medications without doctor's prescriptions or not. One very important part of medication history is checking adherence of the patient. In every consultation, please ask the patients to show the containers and if possible, if feasible, count the pills. So, pill count method is the widespread used method to check adherence. In a busy OPD, you cannot check all the patient's medicines because of time constraint, but at least you can identify the high risk cases. High risk cases means those patients who are likely to be non-adherent. For example, elderly patients, those patients who have cognitive impairment or dementia, illiteracy. Illiteracy also encompass inability to read your English language, because all the prescriptions are written in English language, but patient might not see the instructions. Those patients with multiple diseases or comorbidities and high pill burden also can be non-adherent, and intolerance is probably the most common cause of non-adherence. So, at the time of checking adherence, please consult the relatives or caregiver along with the patient, because if the patient has cognitive impairment, he or she might not recall all the medications. These types of adherence checking procedure also would reinforce your patient's adherence, because supervision reinforces adherence. Our recommendation is you please seek for any past events with drugs to your patients in every encounter. For example, any intolerance, any past history of allergy, even lack of effects. For example, a patient with migraine might come to you and you are deciding for her the appropriate prophylaxis therapy. But during medication history, you can note that previously she was on some calcium channel blocker like flunarizine, and on inquiry patient might tell you that it was not effective, even she took it for maybe 2 to 3 months. So, you can change your decision from flunarizine to some other drug. In a busy OPD, at least you can ask some open-ended questions like, have you suffered any discomfort or hazard from medicine ever? In the following case, let us see how the patient's usual practice might hamper the rational prescribing. A 72 years old gentleman with diagnosed Parkinson's disease was put on levodopa carbidopa combinations for 5 to 6 months, but was not improved. Doctor increased the dose. Even after 3 months, improvement was not satisfactory. Doctor did not add any further medicine. Instead, he checked adherence. Patients and caregiver ensured that the patient was taking the drug as prescribed, but during complete medication history, doctor noted that patient was also taking some protein and multivitamin supplementations daily almost at the same time with levodopa supplementation. So, instead of giving some other further drug or increasing the dose, doctor reconciled and counseled the patient and caregiver, and after changing the practice, the patient is currently taking levodopa. He is not taking other drugs at least 1 to 2 hours with levodopa, and condition improved without any add on. So, you see, it is very important to seek for whether your patient is taking any nutritional supplements or some other alternate medicine, alternate system of medicine or Indian system of medicine drugs along with your prescription. So, food drug interaction is very common and often unnoticed, but you need to be aware of this. Let us see another example. A 19 years old male patient sustained injuries at multiple sites during playing, and he was rushed to nearby clinic where he was managed with ice compression, the usuals like tetanus toxoid, dressings of abrasions and analgesics. During discharge, he was advised to continue the analgesics, and within next 2 days developed maculopapular rash which then blistered. So, ultimately the patient was hospitalized with severe cutaneous adverse drug reaction. In the hospital, during detailed history taking, it was noted that the boy had similar type of incidents, though mild, had some rash after taking some painkiller 2 years back. So, this history was omitted during the emergency clinic visit. So, this condition was a preventable injury. A serious cutaneous adverse drug reactions could be prevented had the doctor note the history at the emergency setup. Therefore, even in emergency, do not miss history of drug allergy. You see, antimicrobial misuse or abuse is rampant in our country. So, how can you elicit the proper history of antimicrobial use or misuse or self medication? So, if you directly ask your patient regarding antimicrobial misuse or over the counter use, they might not reveal the correct history. Instead, our recommendation is you can ask some open ended question like, did you take medicines for cough and cold or fever ever? These types of open ended questions would help your patient to open out. You can also ask, can you show the prescription of the medicines? If your patient cannot show the prescriptions, but inform you that he or she has taken something like azithromycin, levofloxacin, etc., then you can note it. Another open-ended question like, can you remember having taken any antibiotics in past 6 months? Did you take them on advice of physician or otherwise? So, few recommendations what you should not do, like do not assume anything about the probable course of action by the patient or the disease process. Do not use medical or technical terminologies. Do not ask any leading questions like, do you take metformin tablet twice daily? In these types of leading questions, patient might answer you yes to please you. Instead, show the package and ask, how many times do you take this tablet in a day? These types of questions would reveal the exact scenario what the patient is doing, because many times you might note that though you have prescribed metformin for 3 times a day, but your patient is taking maybe once or twice due to some kind of intolerance or diarrhea, whatever. So, you need to bring out the actual scenario. Sometimes in selected cases, pre-printed chart or pro forma would help you to elicit complete medication history. Although in the busy OPD, it is not possible to check everything from all the patients, but in selected cases like high risk cases, for example elderly or with cognitive impairment or where patient is getting multiple medications, in IPD or ICU setup or emergency setup, you can ask in details. So, these types of pre-printed chart or pro forma helps you to prevent prescribing error, because you note all the drugs in a methodical manner. These types of printed format should include the name of the drug, dose, frequency, when the drug was started or when the drug was stopped, if stopped ever. And please note, in addition to the usual prescription medicines, this chart should also include non-prescription medicines like over the counter medicines and medicines from other system or alternate system or Indian system, along with recreational drugs like smoking, alcoholism, etc. So, let us conclude the session with few take home message. Seek information from the caregiver in addition to interview of your patient. Check previous prescriptions, documents, reports and containers of the medicines. Avoid asking leading questions during taking history. Inquire regarding medicines of alternate system or any nutritional supplements or over the counter drugs. Ask for any history of allergy or adverse events or any drug related issues which patient might have encountered in the previous occasions. For details, you can refer to other documents and guidelines. These are the references. We are thankful to our Rational Use of Medicine Committee members of our institution IGIMS Patna and Department of Pharmacology, Department of General Medicine IGIMS Patna and respected experts from AIIMS, Safdarjung Hospital and KEM Mumbai. Thank you for participating in this online prescribing skill training course by ICMR for Rational Use of Medicine. Hope you will be able to answer all the multiple choice questions. Please do that. We also expect you to do some evaluations of few prescriptions from your own workplace and please upload those. Best wishes and happy learning. Thank you.